A writer seeks inspiration to write more books, but she has run out of idea on what to write. And then she decides to make use of an artificial intelligence which will make her visualize stories as if they are real. But something happens. The artificial intelligence develops a fault, and then she's trapped in this fantasy world. What is she going to do to get out of this trap? This is the story we see in the movie trailer. The movie titled Blank is set to be released September 23. Now let's talk about the plot in this movie. Plot is the breakdown of story to phase, and there are three phases in plotting: the Act 1, Act 2, and then the Act 3. Act 1 is the beginning of the story. This stage, the character is introduced, and then the conflict is also introduced at the end of the act. In the beginning of Act 1, we see the character living his or her normal life with no much pressure or trouble. Here, we don't know where the story is heading. It looks like we are just watching a person doing his or her usual routine, and that doesn't give us interest in the film. We just know the character, his or her occupation and her world, his or her strength or weakness too. Like in the beginning of this movie trailer, we see our character visiting an artificial intelligence center to get her own robot, or let me say AI, which will help her with some tasks easily. And then we come to realize that our main character is a writer who have run out of stories. And then we see her make use of the AI, which help her visualize new stories as if they are real, and also aid her write effectively. Well, we know the word of the writer, and we still don't know what the story is about. And that's where the conflict comes in. Conflict are sudden events or phenomena that work against the main character to give the story or film direction and meaning. They can either be a character, force, technology, or anything at all that work against the main character to give the film direction. For example, in this movie trailer, we see our character in this fantasy world being projected by the AI. She complained of the scan of the door that helped her get back to the real world not working, and then we hear a voice commenting that there is a malfunction in the system. Now we see our character panicking, and we see the AI character that is supposed to assist our main character now disobeying her orders. Well, this is what we call conflict. The conflict in this movie is the technology. We now understand the story. Our main character is going to spend the whole of the movie trying to break out of this fantasy world and get back to the real world. And that's where the Act 2 comes in. In Act 2, our main character is putting in place all measures to fight against this AI character and break out of this fantasy world. For example, in this movie trailer, we see our main character combating the AI character and also trying to break the door of the house, including the window. Well, this is a difficult task, we know, and that's what gives our full interest in the film, because we want to know how this woman is going to overcome this technology and get back to the real world. And that's where the Act 3 comes in. Movie trailer doesn't usually contain Act 3. This is to urge us to watch the film when it is released. Act 3, the conflict is resolved and everything goes back to normal. So the genre contained in this movie: first, we saw a woman struggling to gain inspiration for a book, and this is a real life problem. I guess this contains drama. Drama films are films based on real life events. Then we see use of sophisticated technology. That means we have science fiction or sci-fi for short. These are films that contain use of sophisticated science and technology. And also we see a woman going to an unrealistic world. That means we also have fantasy in this film. Fantasy films are films that feature unrealistic place or event that doesn't exist. And also this film is full of suspense. That means we have thriller, and thriller films are films based on suspense. The film will be out September 23. Ensure to see the movie, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for more of this amazing content. For now, goodbye and take care.